But there is a rift, I think, behind the scenes, because I'll just say this is my educated. And what I mean by educated, meaning I have done the interviews, I've looked at the documentation, I've read the on-record statements, put it together. Here's my educated
And
guess.
this is a rift between the Stratton and Lue camp.
Between those camps, and it starts with, go read the chapter in Lue's book where Jay and Lue devised this war plan. And to be honest, this wasn't the first time I heard that. I knew about this, quote, war plan before Lue put it in his book. They got together. This is before he resigns, obviously, and says, look, Lue, you go out there and be the public face of this thing. Go out there and make noise, stir shit up and cause some noise and get the press to write about it. I will then, meaning I, Stratton, will take that press coverage. I will take the New York Times and I will go to Congress and say, look, right here, cover of New York Times, bam, we need to do something. You go be the public face. I'll get policy done behind the scenes. What happened, and this is my educated guess, is that Lue lost the plot. Lue, eventually, the limelight got to him and started just doing his own thing. And the unsung hero of this was Jay Stratton, who remained in the shadows, in anonymity, doing the hard work, doing the, pounding the pavement, making the phone calls, trying to get policy done behind the scenes. And at some point they were like, it appears to be, Stratton was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, we had a plan here. Like, why are you're going off and doing your own thing now? And that what we were supposed to be working towards a common goal, essentially. And they're basically like, okay, that didn't work out. And so, yeah, there is a rift kind of going on there.
What was it that Lue was doing that was designated as going rogue or going off script? Like what was the thing?
Trying to be a TV star, probably.
I don't know. I can only speak to what I've seen and heard, and kind of with my own eyes and ears. And it just seems like, so basically what the contention is Lue's main claims are actually what Stratton did. So Stratton was the guy that kind of had the reins with Lakatsky, after Lakatsky, with ATIP and pushing this ATIP idea in the Pentagon. And Lue was utilized because Lue was really good at connections, making connections across the IC, making connections to different offices, connections that potentially Stratton didn't have. And Lue was kind of utilized for that. And Lue was also utilized. He was really good at money, at finding funding and moving money around, and finding that support. Lue was really, this is according to multiple sources, but Lue was really good at that. And so while Stratton was at the head of this thing, or spearheading this thing, which we can call ATIP, Lue was tapped occasionally, not day to day. This is not some everyday thing. Lue wasn't showing up every day to ATIP office. It wasn't like ATIP office. There was no ATIP office. Lue didn't show up every day. Lue had his own job. Stratton has his own thing, and Stratton was kind of directing things and trying to pick up the pieces that were OSEP, things that weren't official at this point. And he would tap Lue to like help out and make phone calls and try to find funding and get his input on things. But Lue saying that he was like the senior leader or the director of, or was in charge of, or ran this. I think initially, perhaps Stratton was like, oh, well, the ends justify the means, and it's okay for him to appropriate my story because it's helping push the movement forward. And that's the goal here. We're united, and that's the goal. And I think eventually that kind of like got out of control, and he was like, okay, well, that's actually my story. Like it's great, but like We need to dial it back, I think, a little bit. And it's obvious. I mean, if you read all the on-record statements from 2017 until today, it starts with Lue saying, I was the director of an official Pentagon program called ATIP for nearly a decade. And if you look at his book now, he's like, I helped a group of guys out, doing some research for a thing, that we called amongst like the five of us ATIP. It's like it really has been watered down bigly after all these years. And I think some of that was because of, I think Stratton was basically like, look, you're writing his book, like, but now's the time to just tell like how it was. And you can't say you were the director of a Pentagon UFO program in this, because that's not what went down or whatever. Even though the book's cover and the book's bio and the end of the book says he ran a Pentagon UFO program, nowhere in the actual book does it actually say that.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating.